Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay my daughter as much as my son and refusing to supplement her checks so that they are equal? My two oldest kids are in college and working part-time to earn spending money. They live at home and we pay for their tuition, cars, insurance, basically everything except their spending money. I have my own small construction company and run a crew of about 15 men including my son. Lately we've been doing mostly roofing jobs. My son's job is to help take off the old shingles, pick up any shingles that missed the dumpster, and help prep the roof. Once the installation starts, he delivers a steady stream of shingles, nails, and other materials to the nailers. It's a dangerous and hard job, so I pay him about $25 per hour. My daughter works as a cashier, but most of the time she's standing at the self-checkout lanes and rarely behind the register. She's paid about $15 per hour. Last weekend my son bought his girlfriend a new iPhone for Valentine's and was talking about the restaurant he's going to take her. Since it's an expensive phone and restaurant, my daughter asked where he's getting the money. That led to how much I'm paying him and she got mad. He's been working with me for about 4 months, but she's never shown any interest in what we do or ask anything about his job or pay, so it came as a surprise to her. The short version of a week-long argument in our house is that she thinks it's unfair he's making so much more than she is. I offered her the same hourly wage if she wants to join her brother on the roof, but she went once and didn't finish out the day. Instead, she wants us to make up the difference between their paychecks. My wife thinks I should come up with an easier job, like just let her pick up the shingles that missed the dumpsters. I said that's an easy job and I'm not paying her $25 per hour for a minimum wage job. I told her that she can make as much as her brother, but she doesn't want to carry heavy and dirty singles. Now both women are giving me the silent treatment. Last night when my wife went so far as to eat dinner with our daughter before my son, and I got home at 6 and later went to bed without saying a word to me all night. Edit. Hi, and thank you for reading my post and giving me your opinions. I'll answer some common questions. My wife doesn't work, she stays at home and takes care of our younger kids. I didn't make it clear, but our daughter works for a grocery store, not for me. I have a very small company. With 15 men, I have 2 crews on large jobs or 3 on smaller jobs. There's no bookkeeping or other positions she can do because I do those on the weekends. There's only the construction positions. None of our kids have any interest in taking over my company, and it'll close when I retire. Our son just got accepted into dental school and our daughter is almost done with her education degree. Our younger kids have their own dreams.
Not the a-hole. This is a valuable life lesson for both your children, that they have to rely on themselves to earn what they want. How would your son feel if his sister, who literally quit the same more taxing job he performs daily, just gets a free ride because she stomped her feet and threw a tantrum? And how would your daughter behave in the cruel real world if you gave in now? She would go up to people she isn't related to and demands things she hasn't earned, or turn down key career opportunities because she thinks she can and should start at the top right away.
And their mother. Holy, she needs to set her perspective as adult straight. Edit to add, not the a-hole OP, you are the only sane adult here. Some things are to be learned and not to be twisted at home to create wrong expectations regarding the real world.
Not the a-hole. This is a hill to die on OP. You're paying your son's fair wage for the job he is doing. Your daughter is receiving a fair wage for hers. She needs to learn that she can't live off of handouts all her life, and that if she wants to be paid, then she needs to get a different job. She's an adult now and has to find her own way to get more money. Seriously, don't back down on this.
OP has a wife problem. She is enabling her daughter to be spoiled, bratty, and entitled. This is no way to parent. In terms of parenting, OP is knocking it out of the park.
I just want to point out that he pays for literally everything, but they're spending money. If I got my bills and college paid for, I'd be kissing the feet of the person doing it. Like, what the fuck, lol.
Am I the a-hole for going after child support from my ex-wife and her husband, even though I said I would not after they said they wanted input on how I raise my daughter? My ex-wife, Sandy, and I got married young. Too young. I wasn't done university and she was fresh out of high school. We were pressured by our families. It's a religious thing. We didn't actually even live together until a year and a half later when I finished my degree. I'm not in great shape. I'm not particularly handsome, although my mom says I am. I also spent a lot of time at work my first 3 years of my career getting a running start. I am ashamed to say I pretty much neglected Sandy. When we had our daughter, I re-examined my life and made them a priority. Unfortunately, it was too little too late. Sandy left me. It hurt. It hurt more when she moved on and left our daughter with me. She said that she was still young and that her family and I had taken years of her youth away, and now it was her turn to enjoy it. I felt a lot of guilt over what she said. For the record, I didn't particularly want to be married either. I said that I didn't want to hold her back, so I would not take child support. We went to court and I got full custody. She got visitation, which she only very rarely uses. Like 4 times last year. It's been 5 years and my daughter and I are doing fine. I have a great job now and I am able to work from home. I take my daughter to school and pick her up. And I leave my work in my office when we are together. I have also withdrawn from the church my parents attend. Recently, Sandy has been bugging me about parenting decisions. I told her that I would raise my daughter as I saw fit. She said that she was her mother and deserved a say. Her husband chimed in that I was not doing a proper job of parenting and that they were considering going back to court for custody. As soon as he mentioned lawyers, I hung up and called mine. She is a bulldog. She immediately filed for child support, including back child support for the last 5 years. I have been hearing from everyone that I'm being cruel going after her for money. Full disclosure, I make close to 5 times their combined income. I don't need their money. But if I can use the law to get her to leave us alone, I will. Am I the a-hole?
This woman abandons her husband and daughter to go enjoy life and now wants to give advice on raising your daughter? I don't think your attorney is out of line for filing for child support and/or back support. You are sending a message loud and clear to back off. Chances are, the ex hasn't changed that much and is now feeling the heat of having to explain to others why she doesn't share custody with her daughter. I think going in hard like you did was a good move. Keeping with the quarterly visits is good for now, or until your ex proves she is not going to abandon your daughter again. That kind of rejection lasts a lifetime. Every little one needs to know they are worth fighting for, so keep fighting for her.
I also have a feeling that it's due to religious reasons. Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. It's easy to want to dictate things when you don't contribute a dime or time. They want to play, they need to pay. Also, the money is not for you, it's for your daughter. Put it in a college fund or investment account for her. As for the people with any criticism, tell them you welcome them to help X pay for raising your daughter. If not, they can, but out of your parenting.
Not cruel. Your ex wants to pick and choose when to be a parent and she has the nerve to criticize? Get everything you can. Your child deserves it. Not the a-hole.
That lawyer is worth whatever you're paying her. Leave it to the courts. That's what they wanted, that's what they get.
Am I the a-hole for only buying a Christmas gift for my bio niece? This happened at Christmas, but we are still arguing over it, so I need your opinion. My bio parents gave me, male 39, up for adoption. It was an open adoption and they stayed in regular contact with me. They told me that the reason they gave me up for adoption was that they couldn't afford to take care of a child, so they gave me up hoping I would have a better life with another family. I think this is ridiculous because I have a bio brother who is only 1 year younger than me, and they chose to keep him. So did their financial situation really change that much in a year? I just don't believe them. The problem is that no one understands me. Every time I bring this up, my bio parents call me ungrateful and say they did what they thought was best for me. I once talked about this to my bio brother, and his kids, male 17, female 16, were also present. My bio brother literally laughed at me and told me to grow up, and I'm too old to still be upset about this. My bio nephew didn't care and just went to his room without saying anything. My bio niece said, "I'm sorry this happened to you. You are right to be upset. I can't even imagine how hard it must be for you." That was all I needed to hear. She was the first person who said that to me. That was when we started getting closer. She is the only person who I actually feel like is my family. For Christmas, I decided to only buy gifts for my family. This means my adoptive family and my bio niece only. Now my bio brother is mad at me for not buying a gift for bio nephew as well. I told him that I don't care about his son and don't consider him my nephew. He called me a cold-hearted a-hole and said that his son considers me an uncle, and I've watched him grow up, so how can I not consider him family? But I can't help how I feel.
Finger was on the why when I read the post title. not the a-hole for feeling the way you do. My bio nephew didn't care and just went to his room without saying anything. Are you sure your bio nephew doesn't care though? He may just not know what to say to you. Remember, it's not your brother's kid's fault that he's a prime AH.
I'm pretty sure he said he doesn't care.
He is a teenager. They don't care about anything. If you were upset and your brother was laughing at you, the nephew probably left to get away from a conversation he wasn't comfortable with being in.
My bio nephew didn't care and just went to his room without saying anything. Please consider that this could be just the typical 17-year-old boy unable to navigate emotionally complex situations.
You are the a-hole. You need to go to therapy instead of punishing teenagers.
You are the a-hole. Your nephew was probably uncomfortable with the conversation, and that's why he left the room. Remember, you were basically trashing his grandparents. It really wasn't appropriate to have this discussion in front of the kids. I'm glad your niece validated your feelings, but she was under no obligation to do that. This situation has nothing to do with her. Also, if you think you're still going to be allowed in your bio niece's life, think again. Even when she's old enough to make her own decisions, she will probably not want to be around someone who judged her brother so unfairly.
You're the a-hole. The kids shouldn't be present while you're discussing your issues with their grandparents that literally have nothing to do with them. It is not a teenager's job to validate you or support you emotionally. You're the adult. You're supposed to support them. It does sound like you have a tough situation, but that is something you should be processing through with a therapist, not your teenage family members. And it is definitely unfair to decide a teenager is no longer your family because he didn't support you emotionally. It should not be an expectation that he does so.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.